Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah. Thank you so much for being here. Today I will be guiding you through a class I am calling Block Party. You will need 2 yoga blocks. If you just have 1 yoga block, you can make do with 1. And if you don't have any blocks, please grab a water bottle or a book or even a pillow or anything that you can substitute for a block. You might want to grab a book and a pillow, or a water bottle and a pillow. Just depending on what we're doing with it, you might want to have more than 1 substitute. Please remember that this is your practice, so make it work well for how your body is feeling today. And this class should be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. When you feel ready, you can meet me lying down on your back body, on your mat. Take your time here at the start of your practice to get settled in on your mat. Creating some space for yourself. And allowing your mind and your body to arrive right here, right now. Knowing that this time on your mat is for yourself. And the time that you spend on your mat is just for you. There is nothing else that you need to do, nowhere else to be. So if there are distractions or interruptions, that is okay. You can deal with them as they come up. But then come back to your practice. Come back to your breath, come back to your body and your mind. Making the intention to be present for your practice today. Begin to breathe a little bit deeper. Allowing each breath to be full and complete. We'll stay here, grounding and centering ourselves before we move for just a little bit longer. Take 1 more breath. Begin to move your body, wiggling into your fingers and your toes. Maybe moving your head from side to side a little bit. Eventually making your way up to a seat just so you can grab onto 1 block. and come back down. Place the block in between your thighs, or you can use a book or a pillow, placing it between your thighs. We'll come into an active twist from our back. Arms go out into a T, legs go up into a tabletop-like position, knees over top of the hips. Bring your legs over towards the left, just to a hover above the ground. Come back through center. Bring your legs over to the right, once again, just to a hover above the ground. Back through center, over to the left. Squeeze your legs towards one another into the block the entire time you do this movement. Continue just like this, going from left to right. Each time you bring your legs towards the ground, can you just allow them to hover? So keep them lifted a little bit off of the ground, maybe 1 inch. Let's do 3 more on each side, so we'll do 6 total. 2 more on each side. Last one here on each side, 2 more total. Good. From here, release your block. Place it just off to the side. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Come on up. Place one block on top of the other at the top of your mat, and the blocks are horizontal like this. If you don't have blocks, this is a perfect place to use a book or 2 books. You can have the book quite thick, or you can use multiple books, whatever works for you. And then we're going to work into some bridge poses. So come on down onto your back. You might need to move yourself closer to the blocks. Bring your feet onto the blocks or onto your books, whatever you're using. And your hips are somewhat close to the blocks, so you're not too far away from the blocks. Feet are planted down onto the blocks. When you're ready, lift your hips up on your inhale breath. On your exhale, lower down. Let's do about 10 of these. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do 7 more. Keep pressing your feet down into the blocks. Engage your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs. Engage your glutes. Lift your hips up a little bit higher each time. Let's do 3 more. 1 more just like that. Good. Awesome work. From here, ground down into the left foot. Keeping with our bridge on the blocks, bring your right knee in towards the chest. Now ground down even more into your foot on the block and lift yourself up into your bridge. Lower your hips down, inhale, lift. Lower the hips down, inhale, lift. If this is too difficult, you can just use 1 block. Or you can just use 1 book or whatever you're using, bringing the left foot closer towards the ground, so not as high up. Let's do 1 more. Good. Lower the hips down, bring the right foot onto the block, and we'll just switch sides. Left knee will come in towards the chest a little bit. The left knee is bent. Ground down into the right foot so much that the hips lift up off of the ground. Inhale here. Exhale to lower. Inhale and exhale. Continue just like this, going at your own pace. Let's do 3 more. Ground the right foot into the block even more. 2 more. Last one right here. Bring the left foot down to the blocks. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just 2 more with both feet down. Good. From here, you can use your feet to bring the blocks over to one side. Place 1 block in your hands, and we're going to work into the core now. So the other block is just off to the side of your mat. Bring your knees into your chest and bring your right elbow to the block as well as both of your thighs. Lift your head and your chest up, and the left arm reaches up as well. From here, extend your left leg long. Bring it back to your block and extend your right leg long. Bring it back to your block. Left leg long. Bring it back to your block. Right leg. Continue just like this a few more times. If you need to readjust, you can do that and just come back into the movement when you're ready. Let's do one more now on each leg. One more on the right leg. And bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a squeeze. Let's try that now with the left elbow glued to the block. So left elbow is to the block. Right arm extends long. Chest is lifted, head is lifted. Extend your right leg long, bring it in. Extend your left leg long, bring it in. Right leg, bring it in. So this is a little bit tricky to keep the block sandwiched between your knee or your thigh and the elbow. But do your best, readjust whenever you need to. Get right back into it whenever you can. Let's do one more now on each side. Left leg will extend long, and then hug your knees to your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Come on up into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Place the block in between your thighs. Shoulders are over top of your wrists. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees up just to a hover. We'll stay right here and really think about squeezing the block with your thighs. Bring your legs in towards one another. Good. From here, set the knees down, take the block off to the side, and just come to a seat. Taking a couple of breaths here in your seat. You can also take a child's pose if you prefer that. Good, let's add on to that movement. So in your tabletop, place your block in between your thighs. Fingers are spread nice and far apart, toes tuck under, lift your knees up just to a hover. You can stay right here if this feels like enough, or you can start to take the hips from side to side. So hips go to the right, heels go towards the right, hips go to the left, heels go to the left, back through center, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. You can make this range of motion as small or as large as you would like. Let's do one more on each side. Good. From here, walk your hands out towards the top of your mat. So you're in a plank. Lower down onto your right forearm and then the left forearm. Gaze forward towards your thumbs, top of your mat. Imagine that from the crown of your head to the heels of your feet, you have a nice long straight line. Lower down, coming into Sphinx. Tuck your toes under, press back up into forearm plank. Come back up onto your hands and walk your feet in, taking little steps, keeping the block just where it is. Release your knees. Release your block and come to a seat just for a couple of breaths. Good. From here, tabletop. Place the block in between your thighs. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up to a hover. Take your hips to the right and then to the left. Go at your own pace, targeting the obliques here, as well as your shoulders and your quadriceps. Let's do one more on each side. Walk your hands out in front to come into plank. Side plank on the right side. Right hand will be down. You can stack or stagger your feet. Left arm will reach up towards the sky. Bring the left hand back down to the mat. Plank pose, right away to the other side. Left hand is down. Right arm will reach up. Your feet can be stacked or staggered. So the right foot can come in front of the left a little bit, but still keep the block in between your legs. Come back to high plank. Walk your feet in. Keep the block in between your thighs. Come into those hip dips from tabletop. Knees are to a hover. Taking the hips from side to side. Moving as fast or as slow as you would like. Good. From here, step it back or walk it out in front to plank pose. Right hand is down, left arm will reach up. Good. Bring your left hand down. High plank to side plank on the second side. Right arm will reach up. Left hand is down on the mat. You can gaze towards the right hand if you would like. Squeeze your block with your thighs. Bring the right hand down to your mat. Walk your feet in. Keep the block just where it is. Take your hips from side to side. One more time. Good. From here, take your block out to the side. Come into a child's pose. We won't be here for too long though. Big toes come to touch. Knees can be far apart. Maybe all the way out to the edges of your mat. Rest your forehead down onto your mat. Arms can be out in front. And just come back to your breath. All you need to do here is breathe. Come forward into your tabletop. From here, place your block on your low back, or actually your middle back. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. You can also use a book here or a cushion. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees up to a hover above the ground. And all we're going to do here is hold right here and keep the block as stationary as possible. You can even imagine that on top of your block or on top of whatever you are using, you have a hot beverage, maybe a cup of coffee or tea, and you're not allowing it to tip over and spill and make a mess on your mat. Let's stay right here for a little bit longer. Keep your body as still as you can. Good. Release your knees, release the block, placing it to the top of your mat and lower down onto your belly. Once you are there, grab onto your block with both hands. And let's work on strengthening our back body. The legs are long, arms are out in front of us. When you're ready, lift everything up on your inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If you have a water bottle to use in place of the block, you can use that here. Let's do about 3 more. Last one right here. Lower down. From here, keep your legs down and lift your chest, lift your upper body up. Hands are holding on to your block. With the block in the right hand, bring the block out to the right side. Left arm is out to the left side as well. And then pass the block to the left hand as it comes over your body. Bring the block off to the left and back in front. Bring it to the right hand. Keep your chest, keep your upper body lifted as you bring it over top of your low back and then over to the left, back in front. Block is in the right hand. Bring it over your low back to the left hand. Bring it back in front. Pass it to the right hand. Continue just like this a few more times. Keep your chest, keep your shoulders, keep your head lifted up. Keep your upper back lifted up as much as possible. Good. From here, lower down. Bring one hand over top of the other and rest your forehead onto your hands. If you would prefer, you can bring your arms out long and you can turn to rest onto one cheek. Take one more breath here in your resting position. From here, grab onto your block with both hands. Lift your upper body up. Keep your legs down. We're going to do the same thing as before, but just reverse the direction. So bring the block just to the left hand. Bring your arms out into a T. Pass the block over to the right hand. Bring the block to the right. Bring it out in front of you, to the left, over your back, to the right, out in front. Continue just like this. Moving as quickly or as slowly as you like, but trying to keep your chest and your upper back lifted up away from the ground. Let's try to do one more circle. Good. Lower down. Bring one hand over top of the other and rest your forehead down onto your hands. From here, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up into a tabletop. We're going to move through some sun salutations with the block in between our thighs. So that will bring some more engagement to our inner thighs as we squeeze our legs or hug our legs towards each other to keep the block there the entire time. So when you're ready in your tabletop, you can place your block or whatever you are using in between your legs. So you can use a cushion, pillow, or a book if you don't have a block here. Fingers are spread nice and far apart, toes tuck under, and bring your hands just a little bit further out in front from your tabletop. Lift your knees up and then lift the hips up and back to come into downward facing dog. From here, you can find some movement if you would like, just bending one knee a little bit more as you straighten the other and switch back and forth from side to side. From here, to come to the top of our mat with the block here, we're going to look forward to our hands. We're going to bend our knees a lot, get a little bit bouncy on the balls of our feet, bending our legs generously, gazing forward, and then hop lightly, as softly as you can, feet to the hands. As you inhale, come into a halfway lift, squeeze the block, Hug your inner thighs towards one another, and then let it go full down over your legs. As you inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Good, let's continue just like that. Inhale, reach. Root to rise. Exhale to fold down over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart reaches forward. Plant your hands down. Fingers are spread far apart. And hop as softly as you can into plank or downward facing dog. It's up to you. Let's continue. Keep up the pace. Look forward. Bend your knees generously. Get a little bit bouncy on the balls of your feet. Make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and then let it go full down over your legs. Hug the block in between your legs. Come all the way up to stand. Hands together at heart center. Continuing on just like this. You can adjust the block if you need to. Inhale, reach. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart reaches forward. Plant your hands down, bend your knees. And then however you would like to make it back, either plank or downward facing dog, make your way there softly and lightly without making too much noise. And then take the hips back to downward facing dog if you're not already there. Look forward, bend your knees generously, make your way to the top of your mat. Hug your legs in towards one another this entire time. Inhale, halfway lift. And then let it go full down over your legs. Come up to stand. Hands come through heart center. One more time to downward facing dog. Forward and then back to downward facing dog. Let's go. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold down over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, reach your heart forward, plant your hands down, make your way back. However you would like to get there is good. Look forward, bend your knees, get a little bit bouncy, and hop your way forward, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come together at heart center. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway. Plant your hands down, make your way back to plank or downward facing. If you're in plank, make your way back to downward facing dog. Good. Work from here, lower down onto your knees and come to a seated position. We'll be using both blocks now. So if you don't have blocks, this is a great place to grab two books that are about the same height when you lay them down. For this one, you probably won't want to use your cushion and your water bottle won't work either. You'll need two blocks or two books. And the books should be the same height when you lay them flat. So coming into staff pose to begin, toes are flexed towards the knees. Legs are extended out long in front. Shoulders are over top of the hips. And what we're going to do is press our hands into the blocks or the books. Engage our core and lift the hips up. So fingers are spread nice and far apart. Lower the hips down. And we're just going to continue like this. Lift up. You can lift as you inhale and you can lower as you exhale. We'll do about 5 to 7 of these. Let's do 3 more. One more time. Good. From here, bend your right knee in towards you and bring your left leg out long. The block is to the inside of that foot. So we'll just need one block now. Right foot is towards the right hip. Left leg is long. You can tent up on your fingers or place your hands just next to your hips. Sit up nice and tall. Lift your leg up and over the block using your hip flexors. Sitting up nice and tall, engaging your core. You can change the height of your block to make this easier or harder. So the higher your block is, the harder it will be, and the lower the block is, the easier it will be. Let's do this a few more times. One more. Good. Right away, let's switch it over to the other side. Light on your fingertips, or you can bring the hands down to the mat, just next to your hips. Let's lift the leg up and then over, going from side to side and moving slowly and with control. If you would like to, you can change the height of your block, making it harder or easier depending on how you are feeling. Let's do two more. Last one. Good. From here, place your blocks just off to the side and lower down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, arms wrap around your legs and rock from side to side. Can you begin to slow down your breath? Slow down your heart rate. Can you make each breath a little bit deeper, a little bit more complete? Extend your left leg long, keep the right knee in, fingers interlace around the right shin or right knee. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Good, switching to the other side. Left knee will come in, right leg will go long. Fingers interlace around the left leg. Stretch the right heel even farther away from you if you can. And then relax your body down onto your mat as we stay in this pose for a little bit longer. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Find any movement here that feels good for you. And then release into your Shavasana when you feel ready. Coming into your final pose of class. And for Shavasana, your legs can be bent. Knees can be up to the ceiling, planting the feet down to the ground. Or the legs can extend out long in front of you. Arms and your hands can be however you like them. Take your time to make yourself comfortable. And just settle in. Enjoy this time for yourself here at the end of class. begin to bring some movement into your body, whatever that looks like for you right now is great. You can make those movements bigger and bigger until you eventually make your way over onto one side. And you can rest there for a few breaths. And then take your time. There's no need to rush. But you can press yourself up to a comfortable seated position when you are ready, as we close off our class together. Hands can be down on your lap, or hands can be together at heart center. Thank you so much for checking out this video and for practicing with me today. I really enjoyed teaching this style of class, and I will definitely be making another one like it in the near future. So you can watch out for that if you enjoyed this class. If you did enjoy this class, it would also mean a lot to me if you subscribe to my channel, if you give the video the like, if you share it on social media or with a friend, and if you leave me a comment letting me know what kinds of classes you would like to see on my channel, or you can let me know how you are feeling after class. I hope you have a wonderful day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you.